getting there fast. Well, I've been down on my luck, but that's okay. Gave me nothing up ahead but shiny days. I know that life has got its ups and downs. I'm tired of feeling like a one-eyed clown. That's why I'm going nowhere and getting there fast. Hoping and I'm praying I don't run out of gas. I was built for speed, I was made to last. Cause I'm going nowhere and getting there. Well, now my engine is hot and my fan is blowing. I don't kiss enough ass to get nothing going. I'm running wide open, I can tell you, son. Along the way, I had plenty of fun.
Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the GRaceLand Shootout Series. Patrick Morrison coming to you live along with Douglas Ross. This is about to be a great race that we're going to see here tonight. I do want to take this time to apologize for last stream that you guys missed there at North Wilkesboro. They're going to kind of do that as a redo. The cautions were a little bit out of hand, and we did have some technical difficulties. But out of 155 streams, we had a little bit of a fumble. I got to say, that's not too bad. We're still batting 95% over here at Semtrax Broadcasting. But we are at Dover Downs here tonight. Let's talk about a little something here on the positive side as we're taking a little look here at Larry Fairman. We'll see if we can find Billy Stanley out there. See if he's got any better times that he can narrow down here in the number 8 machine. Dover Downs is a pretty tough track. This Monster Mile concrete track is definitely an interesting one, the way it grips and the way these super late models are able to grab a hold of the track. Douglas, talk to me a little about, different things here at Dover we really need to keep an eye out for.
One thing we most certainly do have to keep track of is the grip level, especially for the late models. The grip level is going to be there tonight, especially specifically on the low side. But the question that we are going to have tonight is, who will the monster attack first? Hopefully we don't have that question answered tonight. Hopefully we don't have any of that happen tonight. Hopefully we have some nice clean racing going on tonight. It's just... it's all about maintaining track position and just keeping patience throughout the race.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of track position, David Duke sitting top of the chart right now. We'll see if James Napier can get up there. Adam Robertson looks like 11th place for him. Larry Fairman goes ahead and nails an 18th. And I believe Brian Neff, I think Neff is the last one out there on the track out of our 19 drivers that are going to try to place a solid time here. Right now, that Winn-Dixie machine trying to pick up a little pace here. Gets his first time down. Not too good. 19th for him with a 26.05. He's got to really pick up the pace here if he wants to get caught up to the front. Right now, the fastest time that was held by David Duke with that 25.61. That is not going to... that's going to hold pretty well, but he's got to pick up by 0.4 of a second to see if he can get on top of the pole. If not, a top 5 here. Let's see what he's got as the last lap gets on through. Brian Neff, third, not too shabby with a 25.64. So that gets him a third place start, I would say. It's going to shuffle it up here, seeing with us heading to the heats here tonight. So we're going to see this kind of get mixed up a little bit, but do want to give a shout out there to David Duke. David Duke, actually our Beef Jerky Pole Award winner out there tonight. Not too shabby, so he got on the roll here so far. Early to start the race, I got to admit, Douglas, the way we see David Duke driving here, week in and week out, he really seems to be all on top.
David Duke is definitely one of the drivers that we're going to have to watch throughout the season. He has definitely shown each and every week that he is capable of throwing down good lap times, maintaining his pace, and just constantly keeping his patience out on the track. David Duke is definitely going to be one to watch probably for this year's championship.
Only about 30 seconds left here in qualifying. All qualifiers have gotten onto the track. All 19 have made it, so it is looking pretty good for Duke, Brandon Murray, Brian Neff, Philip Temples, and Daniel Holloway, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome job by all these drivers, and we'll kind of see them wrap it up here and see if they can get it run down. I know when it comes to the heats, things get a little tricky. Everybody kind of shuffling up a little bit. But we're going to see the invert. And I don't know about you guys out there in the chat, but that invert is definitely a tough one. But fortunately, they're actually going to be tossing out a little bit of money for anybody who be able to get out front. And we'll talk a little bit about that later here on in the run. Seeing that qualifying has finished off here. We'll get to our starting grid of heat number 1 here in just a moment. Let's see. Heat race gridding. Well, while we wait on that a little bit, let's talk a little bit about our championship points with the drop race. David Duke, Daniel Holloway, and Adam Robertson sitting 1, 2, and 3. Not too shabby there from those guys. Philip Temples and James Napier. A lot of those guys we saw already with top 5 starts here tonight. Brian Neff is dropped down to that 7th spot, though, and Chris Akers is 6th. So a couple of our guys are looking to move their way on up. Drivers like I know Richard Suddeth sitting down there in that 20th spot. He'd like to be able to fire back up to the top. Billy Stanley sitting 14th, and Robert Lynch sitting 15th. So I would say some of our drivers we're used to seeing move, up front aren't up front here. So it's they've got to kind of mix it up here and try again. All right, looks like drivers are lining up in that starting grid here. Let's take a look. David Duke and Brandon Murray starting in the front row. Brian Neff on the inside of row number 2 next to Philip Temples. Daniel Holloway will be 5th with Chris Akers 6th. Rich Blake will be 7th. Austin Evans will be starting in the 8th position. Billy Stanley 9th. James Napier is 10th. Eric Blount, watch out for him. I'm interested to see if he can get the move on here. He'll be sitting next to Adam Robertson. So he's got his work cut out for him because Adam Robertson will be all over him. All right, let's move on to 13th position where Rob Yost from Zoo Yost Racing. Boy, try to say that 10 times fast. 13th position next to Andrew Smith. David Fuge sitting in that 15th spot with Robert Lynch. Hopefully we'll see that AKA Racing Machine get up there past 16th. David Cox will be 17th. Richard Sutton is 18th. And Larry Fairman rounding out our field. Our wonderful RC, David Noble, in the number 5 machine, will be actually parking his car like in the movie cars into the parking booth up top, kind of watching over top of the race, making sure these guys are doing what they're supposed to. So we'll see this this heat lap go underway and see what we got going on here. David Duke, Brandon Murray, and Brian Neff here in the front.
Patrick, I will actually say this. It's actually going to be very interesting with all of these cars being in the exact same heat. Now, we have to remind the audience tonight that this is going to be an inverted field, which means the driver that finishes first will be starting in the rear of the field tonight.
All right, well, David Duke is going to have a lot of work to do, so let's see if he can run away from the rest of the field as the green flag is out. Duke, great jump here, a little pop out there in the backfield. Looks like by the number 60, Eric Blount. Didn't like the lane he was in, so drops down to the bottom. Brandon Murray hung on the outside as Philip Temples drives down toward the bottom and scrubs the edge of the apron. He is able to complete that turn, no one losing traction yet, as this is a very hard track. As soon as that rubber builds up, these guys may have a better chance of staying stuck down to the track. See, now the concrete can get slick right off the bat, but seems to be working out so far so good for David Duke as he drives away with this one. Brian Neff sitting second and Philip Temples is third.
In spot number 4 is Brandon Murray, and Daniel Holloway, the Candyman, is currently going to be rounding out our top 5. And right now, it looks like everybody is starting to single out throughout this heat right now.
Yeah, not too shabby here. I would much prefer to kind of say single file racing, everybody kind of feel each other out, or at least get through this heat here before they start pressing on. But speaking of pressing on, looking at Brian Neff, dropping down toward the bottom, get a little fresh air, see if he can sneak around David Duke there. Faster times out on the track is Brandon Murray with 25.49 here so far. He's got a fast machine. He's just got to figure out how to get on through. But Philip Temples making it as wide as a train car here, unable to pass him. No way to get around. David Duke still holding that bottom line, and really the favored line is holding out for him so far as Philip Temples is still taking a look around Brian Neff. No change here in the top 3, but we got a battle back here with Daniel Holloway slicing underneath with Chris Akers to get around Brandon Murray.
Oh, and we have big problems here on the back straightaway. David Duke is around, but I don't think there's going to be any cautions for this heat, so it looks like David Duke will be going towards the back of the field.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what may have caused that. That definitely messed him all up here, seeing that he was in the lead and flies on around. Let's take a look and see what happens to him. Looks like everything was A-okay. Neff gets real close here, and I don't know if Neff kind of hooks him. There he goes, right on around. To the backup car for, oh boy. I just moved back. Is that Austin Evans that was around? Yeah, I think it's the number 20, Austin Evans.
We have Austin Evans around as well as it looks like James Napier is around, so those guys will be going to the rear of the field as well.
Good Lord. Alrighty, already ended up with some trouble here. Let's see what happened to Evans. Oh, there's Napier. Oh, Napier got too low. So 2 of those guys made contact. Holy cow. Let's get back up front where Rich Blake has already moved himself up to that 6th position. Biggest mover of this heat so far. Robert Lynch is up 5 and Andrew Smith is up 5. Both of them holding a 11th and a 9th place respectively. White flag is out, only half a lap left. Brian Neff pulling this one on through. Let's see if Philip Temples tries to fire the gap here. Aiming for the inside. He might make a little touch here right on the exit. Brian Neff holding out front. Philip Temples is going to stay in second. So that's going to leave Neff, Temples, and Holloway 1, 2, and 3 here, Douglas. You know, man, is this what we're going to see for the rest of the rest of this race?
It's going to be very interesting because you might definitely see a couple of bump and runs as we've seen Philip Temples ended up doing to Brian Neff, it looked like. So it actually looks like we might get that maybe towards the end of the race, but Not so much the beginning of the race we might get that, but this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, a little bit of those bump and runs can be a little tricky here. I know some of these drivers are definitely probably cursing a little bit underneath their breath, but that's A-okay. But we'll see if we can find... I actually want to get a hold of David Duke if we can. I want to see if we can find him. I think we've got him sitting out there in the pit. Let's see if we can grab him. David Duke, you got a copy?
Yep.
All right, man. Well, you know what we're going to ask, but I'll start with something on a positive note. Beef Jerky Pole Award goes to you here tonight. How's the track holding up for you?
Pretty good, I guess.
All right, well, it was tough during that heat. I know it's definitely going to be a scramble here for the remainder of this race. Can you talk to us, what happened to you out there?
I got dumped. Everybody saw it.
Oh, well, we trust me, with a bird's eye view from here, we saw it too. But, but great job trying to save the car there. You didn't hammer it off the inside wall. Is there any way, anything you can see from here or a positive you can take away, seeing that you're starting probably up front on this invert?
Nope, I'm starting in the back. I got dumped. Everybody saw it.
All right, man. Well, hopefully we'll see if we can get it back through. Can you give me a shout-out while we're here?
Yeah, MVV Travel Co. At Alley MVV Travel Co. Armstrong Air and Electric down in Orlando, Florida. Kitchen Killers in Orlando, Florida. My Twitch and TikTok at Big Duke _sim_racing.
There we go. David Duke, good luck to you, my man.
Thanks.
All righty. I don't know about you, Douglas. That was a little bit of a nervous one. I don't think it does not seem like a happy camper on that one. Definitely not at all. I know guys get super close and try to find a different angle, but that did not work on this one here, from what happened. Let me see if I can grab Austin Evans real quick and move on to another driver. Let's see. Austin Evans, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, Patrick.
All right, man. Well, deep breath. Talk to me here a little bit. Yeah, this seems a little familiar. We've talked to you in the same situation. Getting bumped and beaten around out there. How do we keep this car going in the straight direction?
Well, we'll just have to find out, man. That's just all I can hope for in this one. It's over. It's a bad track to begin with, and they start beating and banging and start sliding around. It's going to collect a lot of people. So just trying to stay clean is going to be part of the race.
Oh, 100%. Seeing that the gRaceland Shootout Series is going back, instead of the super speedways, back to the short track racing, it's to be expected. It's guys kind of getting bumped and hammered around. It's how do you keep traction and how do you keep going in the straight, in a straight line and place well here tonight. Now I just don't know, is the right setup. I mean, how's the car feel out there?
Car feels real stable. It's really nice setup. I enjoy it. It's just going to be a matter of just figuring your way around the cars.
Good, man. I'm glad to hear that it's a stable one. Normally the turn exits are pretty tough. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs while I got you here.
Yeah, just thanks for everybody that's helped me out throughout the years on this thing, and for Billy and everybody else putting this on, man. It's been fun so far.
All right, man. Good luck to you tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for Austin Evans. We've got a couple other drivers out there we'd like to talk to. We're going to do something a little different, taking a look at Miles the Monster out there. Definitely something interesting. Real quick here, Douglas, talk to me about this track and different things we might see.
Definitely we're going to have some hard action racing tonight. I mean, we're definitely going to be seeing some bumping and banging racing. We've already seen it throughout the heat race, so that's going to be expected for a typical short track. But as for tonight, I mean, hopefully we have some clean action racing and we don't get like a repeat. But hopefully it should be good tonight.
Yeah, speaking of repeat, I think everybody's kind of hoping for a little Bill Elliott luck. He actually won both the races back in 1988. Little trivia there for you. Let's get this one going. We're going to have a little shout out here. Actually, a pre-race prayer here. Everybody just hold on a moment.
Lord, we come to you tonight. We want to thank you for another day of life. This is the day the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Lord, thank you for these keyboard warriors who have gathered on the iRacing event tonight. I pray you'd be with them I pray you deliver them from cramps and carpal tunnel. I pray you'd watch over them, Lord, whether all they've got's a little joystick to get them around or they got a full racing simulator. I pray it'd be a level playing field. I pray you'd help them tonight as a common man gets to go around the high banks of Daytona. Talladega gets to battle it out in the Coliseum at Bristol. Lord gets to get their Darlington stripe on this year. I pray you'd give them courage, give them nerves of steel, give them the line to put down the drive tonight. I pray you'd watch over them, give them horsepower under that hood, give them grip in those tires, and most of all, keep the wife and kids away while they're trying to play. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
Alrighty, everybody, and now for our most famous words in NASCAR.
Drivers, start your engines!
Alrighty, Douglas, here we go. Let's get ready to talk a little bit about our some pre-race sponsor that we've got here. I know we definitely try to talk to them about it here in just a moment. We got a lot of drivers trying to figure out how they're going to fly through the rest of this field, but do want to give a shout out there to Darren & Sons LLC Pressure Washing. Any driver that can start from the back of the field, get all the way through and win this one will get a $50 gift certificate, I believe, payout here. But if that is not, it's going to continue on to the next race. So Darren & Sons LLC Pressure Washing. All right, let's take a look at our starting grid here for tonight. A couple of drivers, Robert Yost, Robert Lynch here are in the front. Definitely looking pretty solid here for these drivers. Adam Robertson, Andrew Smith, Eric Blount, and Billy Stanley. Followed by Rich Blake, Brandon Murray, Chris Akers, Daniel Holloway, Philip Temples, and Brian Neff is going to round out our top 12 drivers. Let's go ahead and get this one underway. Green flag is out, and Rob Yost getting away from it now, trying to see if he can squeak out in front of this very hungry pile of drivers, trying to see if they can slice their way back to the front here. Number 28 of Adam Robertson down on the bottom here with Robert Lynch on the outside. Everybody pretty stable here. Notice how all the cars aren't really wobbling around here, Douglas. It's looking really good as they dive into turn 3 and firing out of 4 right now.
This is definitely looking good right now. Nice two-wide action racing going on. It looks like this setup is pretty good right now as drivers are going side by side, not getting loose whatsoever. And we're seeing some action going on here in the back of the field. I think that's for spots number 11, 12, and 13 and 14. We got some action going on in the back of the field.
Yeah, right now Brian Neff is in a really bad spot here. I can guarantee you David Duke has got a little grudge going on after that heat race here, but David Duke stays underneath, moves around Brian Neff, and he is going to move on through. Now remember, David Duke, fastest on the track as he kept going here, but he's got to run down Brandon Murray, who actually had the fastest time, and not just for qualifying. Brandon Murray did have under a 25-second time, and he was going to continue on. Right now, Murray is sitting in that 7th position. So far so good as everybody's single filed out here, but moving back up where Robert Lynch is seeing if he can slice around Yost. Yost has dropped out of the lead down to 3rd. Robertson is now taking the lead, and I'm sure he's happy about seeing all the cars behind him instead of just sitting in front of him. So this working out really well here. Taking a look at the back of Adam Robertson's car. Had everybody looking on the inside. Not too shabby, no tire smoke, so I got to admit, feeling pretty good about this race here so far.
Adam Robertson did definitely waste no time at all grabbing that number 1 spot. We still got a long way to go, though. We got 45 laps of action-packed racing going on. We're just getting started. Oh, and it looks like we got trouble here in turn 1 as Billy Stanley and Daniel Holloway looks like they are around.
First caution of the night. Already a little trouble here in the back. Knew we were getting ready to start taking a look at Philip Temple's drivers collected in this one. Daniel Holloway, Billy Stanley, Brian Neff, and Larry Fairman all caught up in this one. We'll see what happens to Billy Stanley here and see if we can shuffle this on through and figure out what happens. Looks like Billy's way high. Comes down about that 2nd, 3rd row and comes in the front of Holloway. And I bet you he rotates back up. Neff, boom. Contact there. Boy, look at that. Look at Austin Evans slice through there.
Yeah, unfortunately, when Billy Stanley came up the track, Brian Neff had nowhere to go. He was just a victim of circumstance, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I've got to admit that was an awesome view here. I've got to see what this looks like from Austin Evans here. Man. Man, what a close shot. Austin Evans, what an awesome slide through there. That moves Austin Evans up to the 14th position. I know conversations have been had to try to not not fire through the field. You don't want us to keep collecting more and more people. But if you look at Austin Evans, I mean, he was there, he was maintaining speed, and then man just be, you know, able to slice on through. And it's looking pretty solid there. But that's looking real good for some of those drivers. Let's see if we can jack up Douglas Ross here just a little bit. Request by one of our viewers out there. Let's see if we can try that. See if we can get Douglas Ross to give us an oh yeah. All right. Adam Robertson and Andrew Smith here in the front. Rob Yost sitting third, and Lynch is fourth. Already our first caution here, 5 laps in. Talk to me, Douglas. I mean, is this going to breed cautions, or do you think these guys can be able to straighten it up?
Oh, you would hope that they would actually straighten it up, because I mean, with it being this early in the race, with it being 5 laps in, I mean, this is typically not the point where you want to get rough and everything like that. But I mean, there's still a long way to go. Just keep your patience on the track, and the rest will come to you as the race goes on.
Oh yeah, Madison Smith out there rooting on the number 14 of Andrew Smith. Not too shabby here, as they'll be starting here on the outside row, right behind the pace car. So he's got to be getting nervous. Try not to get the jitters. I knew if I ever ended up in the front row, heck, even in second or the third row, man, you start getting that. Oh man, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to fall back too far. I don't want to jump. And everything just seems to be under a microscope. I mean, I hate racing in the middle of the field. I don't know about you, Doug. I couldn't stand racing in the middle of the field, but when you get up front, man, it just seems like more and more pressure is put on you.
Yeah, it's definitely pressure with the people that we have in this pack and the people you're around. The pressure is going to come to you, but as long as you keep your patience, the rest will come to you.
All right, well, the Monster Mile has already taken one victim here. Billy Stanley and Daniel Holloway has suffered a good amount of damage here, so they're going to be seeing if they can get back out there. Billy Stanley right now down pit for almost 3 minutes now. So the number 8 of Hound Dog Racing may be down and out here. Hopefully we'll be able to see him boomerang. I don't know if he had a little bit of trouble. Whoop, a little blink there from the number 60 of Aaron Blount. Pace car lights are off, and we're about to get restarted here. Douglas, go ahead and take it away, my man. We'll let you have this one.
No problem, and thank you very much. Pace car is going out on the field right now, and Adam Robertson, big humongous jump. Great start by him, and he seems to be going out into clean air right now. Ooh, a little bumping and banging going on for the number 2 spot between Rob Yost and Andrew Smith. And it looks like everybody else from the top 8 on back look like they are getting single file. And a couple drivers that we definitely got to keep an eye on. One of them is Brian Neff, as he did go to the rear of the field to try and rebound after that last lap accident that we had. So Brian Neff, Daniel Holloway, they're going to be a couple of drivers that we're going to have to keep an eye on. But it looks like we got some action going on here in the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great racing we're seeing here so far. My eyeballs right now are on Brandon Murray in the 76. Right now he's trying to see if he can slice around Robert Lynch here. Lynch making a good block and keeping out in front of him. He keeps sticking the nose underneath of him, but he cuts him right back off. But he is great turn exits. They fire through the start-finish line here to get the next lap going, and this is definitely pushing on here. Seeing that lap 8, we are really getting underway here. But the battle continues back here where Philip Temples is. Temples has been following David Duke here, and Robert Lynch is around. We got guys killing each other, and the number 21, upside down. Blake caught up. David Duke caught up. Philip Temples caught. Holy cow.
I actually saw that clear in my view. It definitely looked like Robert Lynch got hooked.
Yeah, Robert Lynch, Daniel Holloway, James Napier, Philip Temples, Brandon Murray, David Duke were all part of that one. I think even Richard Sudduth and Austin Evans got caught in that one, unable to get away from it that time. So we'll see actually what happens. I think Austin Evans is having to tow. If he's not already down pit, I think he had to tow something maybe broken with that race car. So Robert Lynch trying to see if he can limp that thing back down. Look at that, how busted that thing is.
And I can tell you this, it definitely sucks for David Duke because he was a man on a mission. He was coming through the field, one of the fastest cars in the field right now, and he's now collecting in another incident once again.
Yeah, trying to see if we can see what Robert Lynch has going on. Did look like he touched the bottom of the apron here. Remember what I was talking about Murray? Keeps sticking that nose down there, and he got him. Oh. Airborne, man. Airborne. Rich Blake, you see him down the line. He's getting airborne as well.
Patrick, I will also say this. With these in particular cars, and this is with any single kind of car that races at Dover, you really don't want your left side tires touching that apron, the apron that is on pit road. You really don't want that because, I mean, your cars can end up getting really, really loose when you touch that apron. So that's really something you want to avoid.
Yeah, it's definitely slicked up here. See the number 7 kind of drive on through there. Who is that in the back? Who was that in the back? Somebody's playing bulldozer. I'm trying to figure out what in the world is happening here. Here's David Duke. He's got somebody behind him. Yeah, Richard Sudduth gets rear-ended here.
Oof.
Yeah, I think that may be the 119 here. David Cox kind of sends her on through. All right, let's go ahead and get this back on track here. Oh man, look at that hot dog. Pace car lights are out. Work out here pretty good. And now biggest mover of the race is James Napier. He's up 12 positions, sitting 7th.
James is definitely a guy that you're going to have to watch when it comes to short tracks. I know he started in spot number 19. I think he's currently in spot number 7 right now. So James is definitely going to be one to watch.
Yep. Well, right now, I would say a good stroke of luck. He was involved in that last wreck, but he was able to get on through. But pace car lights are out. We should be able to give this one another restart here. Cautions breeding cautions now, but I think we're able to get a few under our belt here. Let's see if we can give this one another go.
Also, you can't count out Billy Stanley, who is back in spot number 6 after rebounding from that wreck.
Yeah, that he is. Billy Stanley sitting in that number 8 car. Might get a little nudge there by David Fuge. Fuge backing off just a little bit to let the guys duke it out here. Right now, Robertson, Yost, and Andrew Smith sitting 1, 2, 3. Daniel Holloway's 4th. Blount is 5th. Now, I would say there are multiple grooves these guys can run, but they just can't seem to find that groove. You know, every time somebody sticks a nose down, every time somebody creeps up, contact is made, and guys are getting turned around. Stellar out there. Appreciate you joining us here in the chat. Yep, that was a messy one. Definitely collected at least 6 or 7 drivers. That may be the big one. So out there, Teresa Wilkerson here is saying go Billy Stanley. So Billy trying to see if he can rebound back from a messy night he's had so far. Sitting 9th as we are single file here, at least to the top 10.
And also breaking back into the top 10 is Flying Brian Neff. You also can't count him out as he was running towards the front of the field as well. Brian Neff is definitely one we got to watch too.
Yeah, Philip Temple's trying to turn it back on as he's following Brian Neff. Neff is sitting in that 10th position. 11 laps are almost complete here as we continue on through. I'm waiting to see if that number 14 car of Andrew Smith can hold on. Looked like he was getting a little nasty there into exiting turn 2. Loses a spot here, drops back down to 4th, and now the number 60 of Eric Blount. Let's see if he slices toward the inside. I would say, I don't think you could put a mirror the size of a trash can lid on the left side of the car. So do these guys just rip it off? Let's see, because I think Rich Blake, he is in the air. Good Lord.
And it looks like on the back straightaway, while we were watching that, it looks like 2 separate incidents happening on the exact same back straightaway. It looks like one incident was between David Fuge and Billy Stanley. The other was between, I think it was Rich Blake and David Duke.
That's where we're going to take a look at it here. Where Rich Blake is here. We see up toward the front. Yep, Billy Stanley collecting the 12 there. I'm not quite sure. Oh, let me roll that back one more time and see what in the world happens here. And why. Ooh, hold on. Let me see if I got that drone out there. Yeah, baby. We got her today. Oof. Yeah, a little nudge there. Rich Blake trying to, you see the driver inside the car trying to steer out of it here. Stop. Stop. Boom. On top of Robert Lynch's car. Oh my gosh. Yeah, as you can see the I don't think there's supposed to be that much rear toe in the back of the car. Wow.
And then unfortunately, if you actually look at the incident involving David Fuge, it also looked like that Brian Neff was also involved in that incident as well, but no contact. It looks like Brian Neff was the incident of a netcode incident.
Yeah, look how the one where Billy Stanley is involved. We kind of keep it full speed here, and watch how the 12 has to check up on the 1, and I think Billy doesn't offset that speed. Watch, see? See him kind of let off the gas here? So you see him try to slice toward the top and just catches him with that left front fender.
I definitely see that, but it looks like it wasn't really enough.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where... Oh, yeah, Fuge in the 12. Destroyed. Brian Neff caught up. Ooh, hey, cool shot of the building. That's exactly what I want to see. All right. Hopefully, pace car lights are out. Let's try to get this back underway. Looks like we might be going around one more time. Let's see, Barney with his arm straight up in the air. That means a good sign. Adam Robertson and Rob Yost are going to try to take this off again. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the first race of the season, where Sean Freeman was actually out in the lead for 90% of the race until we could get some green flags, and then green flag laps, and then he ended up, then he started wheeling it back. Carla, yes, this is computer racing. This is iRacing. These are guys in simulators. I have heard word through the grapevine there are some guys on controllers out here. I pray that they're not. But they are some guys sitting in full simulator rigs with steering wheel, shifters, and pedals. These guys are giving a rip. All I say is it's the fun of racing without the injury or the extreme cost.
Checking the comments right now. Looks like we have a Daniel Holloway fan in the comments.
What? Oh yeah, I see Sarah out there saying go Holloway. Yeah, Daniel's the Candyman is sitting third. Let's see if he can what he's got going on here. Alrighty, back under green. Robertson, Yost, and Holloway out front. 2 and 3, Andrew Smith trying to see if he can get a podium position here tonight. He's got a lot of work to do to get there. Look at this gaggle of cars here in the back behind Robert Lynch. Holy cow. We're going to stick with this because I smell trouble. Brandon Murray in the 76 following the 21. Looks like David Cox in the 119 sitting up on the high side. He's going to get underneath. Well, underneath of him will be Richard Suddeth. Richard Suddeth tries to slide on around, and he does. But, man, there's got to be an angry David Duke sitting 14th. He's going to want to fight his way back to the front. All his Twitch streamers are watching him here, and he's not happy about what he's putting on at the moment. A little scuff here with the wall and Douglas Ross. This is looking pretty dicey here in the backfield.
I can tell you right now, David Duke is definitely going to be wasting no time at all on trying to get to the front of the field. Oh!
There it is. Worst part is we never took our eyes off him. I think that is... Oh, Richard Suddeth landed back on the wheels. All right, we'll see if that sends David Duke to the garage. We're seeing he's having to tow back.
Go figure. You talk about the guy, and then he gets into an accident.
Yeah, well, you have one of the fastest guys in the field trying to slice through where everybody is. I got to see where the contact. Yeah, looks Sudduth rotate up. Catches him, got nowhere to go. Boom. So he tries to slice underneath of him here, and almost like the iRacing hooks him and sends him the rest of the way down into the number 20 machine. So Austin Evans gets a good shot of it. Look at Sudduth. Dude's bouncing around like a jelly bean. Look at that.
Unfortunately, it looks like he towed back into the garage, so he will be taking it back.
Oh. Let's give another shot of Richard Sudduth here. 2, 3, 3.5, and 4. Good Lord. Well.
Tell you what, while we have the time for this caution, maybe we should try and get in touch with one of our drivers. How about we try to talk to Daniel Holloway if we have a chance?
Sure, sure. I was going to say Richard Sudduth, but we can grab a hold of Daniel Holloway. Go ahead.
Hey, Daniel Holloway, got a copy?
Daniel Holloway. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can get him down here. That's it. Try it now.
Hey, Daniel Holloway, it's Douglas in the Simtrax booth. You got a copy?
Hello, fellas.
Hey, how's it going, buddy? It looks like you're having a good race out there. Tell me, how's it going?
We get some green flag. I was on Adam. I was getting a nice run, making some move maybe, but that first caution, you know, Billy and I pretty much just got together, had the run, but he didn't think I was there fast enough, and just gave him a little Hershey kiss there a little bit and caused that one. But you know, this car's fast. Once we get some green flags, and I might have something for Adam here or whoever gets up front here. But key game is be consistent.
And definitely consistent it has got to be. Well, it looks like the lights are going back out on the pace car. Why don't you give us your shout-outs?
Shout out to everybody's out there watching. Simtrax up in the booth, you guys. And Unlimited Beef Jerky, 5-Star Beverage, Performance Distribution, and a few others, and especially this Hershey Kisses Ford Mustang car.
Yeah, Speedway Illustrated. I love it. Appreciate it, bud. And we'll catch up with you at the end of the race.
Sounds good.
Daniel Holloway, the Candyman, sitting right now in that second position. He'll be on the outside. This is really going to be a great spot for him to try to restart here. Outside line, he's just got to make sure he doesn't get jumped too bad here in the 83 of Rob Yost slide underneath of him. So the number 14 of Andrew Smith kind of sticking around here. And kind of like a rock in your shoe. Kind of seems to be a pain. Everybody trying to get around it, but he just keeps seeming to keep his way here in the top 5. So not too bad. Andrew Smith, let's see if he can get up to the front. Here we go, Adam Robertson. Whoa. Let's see if RC gets him for crossing over there before the line. As Daniel Holloway is now sitting second. Adam Robertson is still in the lead. Rob Yost sitting third. Eric Blount is fourth. And Andrew Smith, oof, almost drops down another position here, losing it to the number 60 of Eric Blount. I'd probably say it's very, very tough starting on that outside line. Unable to continue on here, but James Napier trying to see if he can break in the top 5. So Andrew Smith has his work cut out for him.
Definitely right now, and it looks like the car is all the way to the top 10 and back. Looks like they're starting to pull away from the rest of the field single file, but we might see somebody in this pack maybe step out of line, as it looks like we got a battle for the lead between Daniel Holloway and Adam Robertson. Holloway manages to end up making the pass. Daniel Holloway now goes to the number 1 spot.
Yep, that he does. Adam Robertson going to be trying to really get back at him. You see him already aiming higher into the turn to see if he can triangulate a little bit, and he's going to try to make a lane that's not there. Adam Robertson better be careful. He's going to be starting the next caution here, diving in like that, trying to stick the nose where he ain't supposed to be. Adam Robertson taking another look here, trying to see if he can nudge it. No, Holloway still so strong coming out of 4. But look at Billy Stanley keeping that outside line here on Phillip Temples. Billy Stanley, the number 8 machine, right now sitting 10th. A little bit of work to do as the top 10 are all now single file, but no one really kind of pushing the envelope here, trying to see if they can make a move, rather than let the race come to them. So I like what I see. Everybody kind of just chill out for a second. Let's try to get some laps down. Let's get some heat in the tires, and then we can really do some racing. Right now, Eric Blount is thinking different. He's trying to slide underneath Yost. Obviously, everybody knows bottom dominant, and that is exactly what's happening, exactly the way you said there.
Definitely right now, and some of the guys that are in this top 5 are definitely ones that we cannot count out. One of them is Eric Blount, who we actually didn't really mention for most of the race. So Blount is currently sitting back in spot number 4, and right behind him in spot number 5 is Andrew Smith. So everybody seems to be holding their ground for right now. We're currently, 21 laps in. It's going to get exciting as the race goes on, and it looks like we got another battle for the lead going on.
That we do. Adam Robertson taking another peek, but Holloway too strong on the turn exit, and he's able to pull away here. Not too shabby, as we've already got trouble, I believe, here in the back. Robert Lynch is around. And multiple times here tonight for Mr. Lynch. Almost made it halfway there. So that is tough. I gotta say, Douglas, check this out, man. We got at least 26 eyeballs watching us tonight. That's not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all, and it's nice that the gRaceland Shootout Series gets this nice audience that it gets right now. So thanks for everybody for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to have you watch the broadcast.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look and see what happens to Robert Lynch here. Diving into 3, everything looks good. Oh, man, that looks like netcode.
Not from my end, it doesn't seem like netcode.
I'm trying to figure out why the 12 just kind of yanks up top here. Who's sitting behind him? Is that I think that's Rich Blake, isn't it?
Behind Robert Lynch?
Yes. Yeah,
yes, that is Rich Blake in the 66.
Here we go. I'm trying to see if I can see something.
Yeah, I'm looking at the incident. It looks like the 12 of Dave Fuge may have came up a little bit, and Robert Lynch just hooked him as he was coming up the track.
Man. I always try to break it down, man. Gotta definitely love bumping and banging out here. Robert Lynch probably down to his last faster pair here, so hopefully he can continue this on. I know Neff Racing was out there asking if there are any mechanics in the stands or out there in the chat. A couple of his are a little bit exhausted here tonight, so we'll see if we can get all these people fixed all up now. Right now, Brian Neff is down pit yet again. Dave Fuge still sitting in pit almost 2 minutes, and Richard Suddeth with about 8.5 minutes. If he was in one of those victory sims, his back might be hurting him right now, so definitely yanking him around. He was the 4 barrel rolls. Alrighty. Pace car lights are still on. We might try to see if we can grab another driver out there.
Who are you thinking?
I'm thinking Adam Robertson. That seems like good talk.
Why not?
Yeah, let's see if we can grab a hold of him. Adam Robertson, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, pace car lights are still on, so we got a little bit of time here. Talk to me about this race here. I know you've been battling, to keep everybody behind you here tonight. You know, what's going to take to get back in the front?
Timing, a good timing. It's hard to stay on the outside, and I got lucky and had enough of a hole to get back down. I'm really just kind of riding a little bit right now. I really like to pass him to lead some more laps so I can get the most laps led thing, but there's going to be some timing of getting by him because he can come right back by me pretty much the next corner if I don't do it right.
Yeah, got to be super careful here, and I know it's seeming this is almost a one-lane track here. You know, it does seem there is some power, there's some opportunity about mid-track, but everybody just seems to be sticking the nose down onto the bottom and passing at will on closest to the apron. I mean, is that kind of what you're feeling out there?
Oh yeah, if you get on the outside, you're like throwing a parachute out, even if you've got someone behind you. But no, it's I'm not a big fan of this car and this track. I like this track. It just this car is not a good fit for it. But we only got about 27 laps to go and I'm gonna have to deal with it for a while.
Alrighty, well, hopefully we'll be talking to you here in the end, Adam. Good luck as the pace car lights are out.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Adam Robertson, we had a little conversation with him. I know he's been trying to keep it going here. We might grab a hold of James Napier if we end up back under caution.
I don't think we are. And we also have to wonder, Adam Robertson has been getting a good jump on these starts, but now he's finding himself in spot number 2. So now we get to see how Daniel Holloway controls the starts.
Yeah. I know Adam Robertson, he'd like to do a little more, have maybe a little Dale Earnhardt luck there. Actually, did you know back in '89, Dale Earnhardt out of 1,000 laps led 833 of them?
Really?
Yeah, buddy. So I guarantee you he would like to get up front and have a little bit of that number 3 Intimidator luck here. As Adam Robertson is going to start second already. Rob Yost with a great jump almost puts a fender into his quarter panel to keep him high side, but Robertson able to drop toward the bottom. Chasing the Candyman down now. Outside line for Eric Blount. That's going to be able to move Andrew Smith back into 4th as the inside line is always so dominant. But if he can keep this run, he may be able to get a 2-for-1 deal here as he definitely tries to reel in Rob Yost. Chris Akers in the number 1 Reese's machine. He is in a lot of trouble. I don't know about you, but Douglas, but when it starts kind of clumping up like this, I see something getting ready to happen.
Yes, definitely. And it looks like that there is a car that's being hung out on the outside for a little bit. It looks like that was Eric Blount that's getting hung up on the outside of the inside line pack. But it looks like that there is going to be an opening there for Eric Blount if he decides to take it, which it looks like he will. So Blount will find himself back into spot number 7, as it looks like everybody's going single file once again.
Yeah, Blount having a march back here pretty rough. Billy Stanley actually knocking down the fastest time on the track with a 25:34, and he's right now sitting 10th. He's got a lot of work to do to see if he can fight back up to the front. Right now, he has had probably the worst luck out there, being in and around cautions here all night as we finally reach the halfway point. Let's keep this going on here as we keep going. Right now, Billy Stanley 10th, Rich Blake moves to 11th, Austin Evans is 12th, but moving faster than that right now with a 25:32. Brandon Murray. So he's continuing on the charge here, seeing if he can keep this one on going. Definitely when you start getting faster and faster laps, these tires start heating up, the track starts getting plenty of temperature into them. Drivers got to be thinking, man, if we can just stay under green, these guys might be able to do some slicing and dicing, a little passing, little sketchy moves and be able to hold on to the car. So hopefully we cross our fingers here. Let's try to get at least 25 more green flag laps as we keep this one going here at the Monster Mile.
Definitely, and right now, the track is sitting at a nice 79 degrees, so we're definitely going to be seeing the grip come into these cars. The speeds are going to pick up a little bit, so it's definitely going to get interesting for the next half of the race.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Let's see if Adam Robertson can get him here. Right now, puts a fender into that quarter panel. Slides underneath. Ken Holloway, no! Holloway cannot block him this time. Adam Robertson going to get back underneath of him here and regain the lead. Holloway has got to get back underneath. There we go. Drops down toward the bottom. Candyman wants the low line. Yeah, Adam Robertson not going to let it happen here. He's got to figure out how to get a solid line here. So Robertson going to try to lead some more laps. But look at the run that he has on the way on the outside. But I believe James Napier is in the wreck just as the racing gets good.
Yes, and it looks like problems for James Napier as it looks like he got hooked. A couple other cars involved in that incident as well. We're trying to get a couple of numbers, but it looks like Robert Lynch was another victim of circumstance in that wreck.
Let's see if we can see what happens to Napier here. Wow, that was already nasty. Just as we came to the replay here, watch how Philip Temple slides to the bottom here. Tries to cut underneath. Nothing better than catching him on the right side of your rear view mirror, seeing him in the left mirror, and then and now you're seeing him out the windshield. Look at that.
And I tell you what, watch Billy Stanley in the 8. Watch how he just cuts right through the middle of all this. Ooh.
Let's see if we can find Billy Stanley here.
I'm pretty sure he he got a little nervous there for a minute, but yeah, he got through unscathed.
Yep, right here. Here's the hook. Pops through, man, and the seas part ways. And he drives on through. Boy, he got lucky on that one.
Very lucky to be more precise.
How Brian Neff got involved in this. Neff is all the way back here. Oh!
Ouch.
Wow.
Yeah, that's definitely going to hurt a little bit.
What do they say? Nailed it.
Definitely.
Daggone. You kind of...
Speaking of which, while the pace car lights are still on, maybe we should get a quick word with Billy Stanley, see how he's feeling about that after that.
Yeah, that is a great idea. I like the way you think. Billy Stanley, got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
The seas parted ways on that last caution.
That's what it looked like to me too. Wow, I got lucky for a change.
Definitely. The race is starting to get kind of dicey up here, at least in the front. You've been in and out of some of these cautions here tonight. You know, kind of what's the key to trying to fight your way back, seeing that you're almost back to at least where you qualified here?
Yeah, well, you got to stay on the bottom. That's pretty much it, you know. So when you get on the outside, as you see, everybody gets freight trained when they get hung up on the outside. Everybody just passes them. So you try to come off that corner that's, you know, close to the bottom as possible, and then let it drift up, and then, you know, that's where you keep your speed. But if you have to pinch it off coming off the turn, you can't keep up with them, and they'll all pass you on the outside. So it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely crazy, and that's what we're noticing, that some of these guys, if they touch the apron, they rotate up, and that's how guys are getting spun. Some guys sticking the nose in too deep and either bouncing up or somebody not seeing them. I think that last one, Philip Temples was on the right side. You saw him slice down toward the bottom, and then I don't think anybody even saw him. I don't think James Napier even saw him there when that happened there, man. But, man, how do you fight back to the front seeing it's so bottom dominant? I mean, what do you have to do, wait for the guy in front of you to rotate up?
Well, with me, it's everybody's wrecking in front of me, so I'm moving my way up that way. Just try to stay out of all the mess and see where you end up.
All right, man. Well, hopefully you don't get caught up in any more. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs while we send you back. Pace car lights are out.
Yeah, I want to shout out to Performance Distributors, Beef Jerky Unlimited, and Simtrax, and 5 Star Beverage for putting this on. Thanks to all the fans for watching. We're trying to put on a good show, and hopefully we'll get over the yellow fever here in a minute.
All righty. Good luck, Billy.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that's going to do it for Billy Stanley. Yellow fever, what he means is the slew of cautions we've run into here tonight, up to 6 now. A couple of drivers still trying to see if they can push this way on through. Philip Temple's trying to haul butt back around to get to the back of the pack. Daniel Holloway will be sitting up front with Adam Robertson again. But somebody out there already saying don't count out the 66 of Rich Blake. Blake is sitting 8th next to Billy Stanley. He'll be on that outside line. But he'll definitely he'll wait it out. And I know I can 100% agree with you here that Rich Blake, I think he may, if he could just stop getting hammered to pieces here and kind of get him rattled around like a coin in a tin can here, I think he might be A-okay and fight his way back to the front. But there are plenty of drivers out there looking for the same position and the same chances. Adam Robertson gets taken off yet again, slices in front of, looks like Daniel Holloway here and Rob Yost. These two white and red cars here trying to slide side by side. Daniel Holloway loses a position here. Now, go ahead.
How about Rob Yost going back to the number 2 spot? Got to give a shout out to that guy.
Yeah, started actually number 1 here tonight, and right now he's trying to take another peek of looking for it here. Brandon Murray, remember, he was fastest during qualifying here, trying to see if he can slice his way back to the front. Now finally has 5th, but man, he is having a hard time wrangling that car. Diving in super early into these turns. Left rear tire catches the apron, bounces him around a little bit, and he is going to lose some time. So very costly mistake by Brandon Murray. So he's got to run down Chris Akers yet again as a couple of these drivers are trying to figure out how to fight their way back.
Definitely right now going to have to fight their way back. And look at the battle for spot number 2. Daniel Holloway is going to be right now going to spot number 2. And following right behind him, going for spot number 3, is Chris Akers.
Yeah, Chris Akers, fantastic job here on the bottom of the Reese PC #1 machine. On to the bottom. He's going to be hate big. I'm calling it Reese Pieces. Normally, I see him getting hammered all the pieces are out there. But Chris Akers, not too bad. 6 positions gained, 3rd for him. So now, battle for the lead, Daniel Holloway. Exactly what he was looking for. Little mistake here by Adam Robertson. Robertson now going to fall back and watch Chris Akers slide it on in. Here he comes. Right now, gives a good nudge, and right now, Chris Akers is Daniel Holloway's best friend right now, is that #1 machine, keeping Adam Robertson onto the top. Robertson may fall all the way back to 3rd, if not 4th, if it doesn't able to square this one off. Let's see Adam Robertson. He's holding out there for that 3rd position as Chris Akers has 2nd at the moment. Where does Brandon Murray fall in? He may end up in the 3rd position. But look at this gaggle of cars behind him. We got plenty of racing out here.
And we also can't count out Robert Yost, who's sitting back there in spot number 5. He is currently trailing right now a little bit behind Brandon Murray, but he is currently going to be settling behind Adam Robertson. Robertson finally finds the bottom line. He puts himself back in position to get a little bit of rebound going. Adam Robertson will now find himself back in spot number 4.
Wow, I was going to say, Rob Yost is about to miss a golden opportunity if he could just get on the bottom. Billy Stanley, you see, he was getting ready to make a move on Andrew Smith, but you got to imagine what happened next. Caution.
Caution flag is out, and it looks like problems once again for James Napier, as it looks like he has spun again on the back straightaway.
Man, that's definitely heartbreaking there, seeing that the #7 in trouble yet again. See if we can see what happened to James Napier here. Boy, this still looks familiar. Yeah, I would want to know here. No, a lot of things going on here, and a lot of different angles we can take a look at this. I definitely want to kind of keep an eye on what's going on here with this this contact here, right there. Now Philip Temples definitely is able to get away from that one unscathed. More trouble out on the track. I don't know if James Napier, how he's going to handle this one. Definitely. I also want to put out there, Douglas, these guys are only on 1 set of tires for the whole race.
Right, but you also have to admit that 1 set of tires has probably got plenty of grip in it for being out there for 34 laps.
Yeah, most of them under caution, unfortunately. I would love to see, but I would say yes, plenty of grip. But if you've been sliding around all night, I mean, it can't be much better. You know what I mean? Like right now, James Napier trying to have a good night here tonight, but he's been sliding around at least 4 or 5 times here tonight. I mean, how do you? Is there any grip left in the tires to even compete?
It depends on how bad you're sliding around. Probably in most of some of these people's circumstances, I think that answer is a no.
Rich Blake is down in the pit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. Interested to see how all that happened. Yeah, everything looks like everything okay with Rich Blake. I don't know if something happened to him. There he is. He lives.
It lives to race another day.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that wasn't his last lifeline here, the number 66 machine. Still has at least 17 laps, so you can give it a go here. See if he can battle this one back. Brian Neff trying to do the same. Pace car lights are still on. Boy, you ever think like you ever think about reaching into like a fish tank full of piranhas? That's almost what this feels like. Let's see if we can find a driver.
I tell you who I think we should talk to. How about Chris Akers?
Chris Akers. There we go. There's somebody. All right, good idea. Go ahead and take it away.
Hey, Chris Akers, you got a copy?
Sure I do.
Hey, you're finding yourself up in spot number 2 right now, competing with the likes of Daniel Holloway, Adam Robertson, Brandon Murray. Gotta ask you, what's your goal tonight on how to win this race?
Oh, I got to figure out a way to move this 26 car out of my way. I got to get my teammate to slide up a little bit and take his glory right now and see if I can get my first win in this series.
Definitely, it looks like a lot of competition that you're going to have on your hands with the likes of those guys.
Yes, sir, it will be.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the lights are going back out on the pace car, so we're going to let you get back to it. Do you want to give us your shout-outs while you're here?
Oh, I want to shout out to the guys for putting this league on. It's been so much fun. I want to give a shout out to Holloway, my teammate. Let's see if we can get this thing done and go in. And thanks you guys for broadcasting. I love it.
Yeah, no problem. You know what I always say? It's always fun as long as you're in the front.
Yeah, right?
Chris
I remember my first interview so far. That was when I wrecked. I'm like, oh, I got to do better than that.
That's all right, man. Good luck, man.
Thanks, buddy.
He seems like a chipper guy. I like that. All right.
I like interviewing some of these guys. Some of these guys are just fun to interview.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. My favorite sight is watching that pace car get off my track. Daniel Holloway and Chris Akers are going to be starting here, so Akers has got to figure out how to slice underneath here as soon as Holloway takes off, and he does. Away they go. Yeah, good move. Akers drops down to the bottom. Brandon Murray will be third. Respectively, Adam Robertson will be sitting fourth. Already single file 1 through 5. And look at Billy Stanley back up to 6th, allowing Blount and Andrew Smith to kind of duke it out here back for 7th and 8th. No can do, and nobody trying anything as of yet, I would probably say. Let the tires tack up, get a little heat in them, and start moving around again. We saw how that worked in the last couple of green flag laps, and that's exactly what you want. Guys being able to make moves and move around. Brian Neff sitting 14th. See if he can sneak on the inside of David Cox for that 13th position. But we got drivers I know losing their minds trying to figure out how to get around. I think Chris Akers might be in some trouble here.
Yes, and it looks like Brandon Murray looks like he's going to sneak down to the inside, makes a very great move, and it looks like he'll get it done. Brandon Murray is right now in spot number 2, and look who is coming also on the inside trying to get spot number 3. That would be Adam Robertson in the 28.
Yeah, right now I guarantee you the number 1 car is not going to want to talk to us again as he flies out of the top 3, sitting 4th. Back here with Rob Yost. Yost, we'll see if Yost tries to get underneath him again. Oh, man, good job. It looked like Yost actually checked up a little bit. Billy Stanley didn't rearrange the back end of the 83 of Yost. So Billy Stanley continuing on here as we see a fender on the outside quarter panel of Rob Yost. Yost might be thinking, you know, that number 8 machine is looking for a spot and he can't let him have it.
Yes, indeed. And also, you got to keep an eye on Brandon Murray as he is using up the back bumper of Daniel Holloway on the front and back straightaways. Holloway has it. Murray wants it. Which one of these guys will end up getting towards the front at the end of this?
Yeah, definitely very tough here. Looking at Brandon Murray, Daniel Holloway looking back. Boy, he is working him. Let's see, he's working the wheel through the window here. I think he might be in a little bit of trouble here. Taking a look here on the inside, Daniel Holloway watching the 76 slice underneath of him. Will contact be made? Here it comes through turn 3 and 4, and it looks like our new leader, Brandon Murray, finally for the first time here tonight getting a lead lap out front. But Daniel Holloway nervous about this 2-for-1 deal as it looks like Adam Robertson slices underneath as well. A little bit of wiggling back here around the Billy Stanley, Rob Yost area. Everybody staying calm so far. So what does Daniel Holloway do? Does he drop down to the bottom and cut off Chris Akers? That he does. Where is Adam Robertson going to go, and how is he going to set him up here? Brandon Murray blocking the track, making sure he's known he wants to win this one. 10 laps left to go.
And also keep an eye out for the car back in spot number 6. That is Billy Stanley. He is definitely a guy that you do not want to count out when it comes to these kind of racetracks. And it looks like Adam Robertson tried to make a peek onto the inside of Brandon Murray, but couldn't get it done. Peeks back down into the pack, and it looks like Adam Robertson will settle back in spot number 2 once again.
Single file here so far as Rob Yost takes a look, is the only one to wiggle out of line just a little bit, trying to see if he can keep into the top 5. As Billy Stanley's putting a little work on him here. Stanley on the outside, keeping on going here, no can do. Billy Stanley, you see how he triangulates the turn. He wants to stay up high and then drop back down to the bottom. But Holloway on to the bottom. Speaking of which, now moves back into second. Now he's got to run down Brandon Murray with only 8 laps left to go. So 8 miles left on this track here at the Concrete Monster Mile. And let's see if Miles has anything else left for us. Hopefully this goes green all the way to the end here, Douglas.
Hopefully we do have green flag racing the rest of the way around. I think Brandon Murray definitely is liking what he's seeing in his rearview mirror when that is coming to side-by-side racing. But you can't count anybody out yet sitting in the top 5 as we still have 6 laps to go in this race. Anything could change in 6 laps, and it looks like the top 4 are staying bumper to bumper throughout the entire track.
Yeah, taking a ride along here with Brandon Murray looking out the back. Daniel Holloway says he likes getting in guys' heads, especially with that helmet he wears. With the little smiley face, with the smiley face helmet. He's trying to get inside your head, and then he'll try to slice on through. But still leading the race is Brandon Murray. 6 laps left to go. Not too shabby here. I'm loving the green flag racing I'm seeing here so far. But Billy Stanley still trying to get some work here, breaking into the top 5. Number 8 here, looking toward the outside. So difficult here to find a little bit of clean air so he can get some work done here. But I've got to admit, the green flag laps is more work than you can get done on a caution lap. So what does Daniel Holloway have for the 76 as the number 26 follows along here on the bottom? Adam Robertson's going to stay up high, and he's going to have a whole lot of speed entering 1 and 2.
Definitely right now, and I have to even ask this. When you're sitting in second or third, will we see maybe possibly a bump and run at the end of this thing?
Oh,
That's
man.
the question.
Look at the move we see here, his little slice move there. Top 3 drivers are down on the bottom. Adam Robertson thought he could outsmart him and slide toward the top, and Chris Akers gets the best of him. Drops underneath. I don't think Adam Robertson saw he had a run here. And now he drops down to 4th. Chris Akers back up to 3rd. Holloway sitting in 2nd. We're on to caution.
Game changer as caution has come out once again, and this time it looks like it's for the 11 of Larry Fairman.
Yeah, Fairman and Blake looks like they have the worst of this.
I will say this, game changer.
Yeah, I would love to see this not go, 5 or 6 green, white checkers here. Whoop. That's just a little mishap here with Rich Blake there, unfortunately.
And it looks like Larry Fairman will be pit bound with that car as there is a cloud of smoke coming from the back of that car.
All right, everybody out there in the chat, tell me what you think. Man, that was awesome racing. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I expect to see. Some green flag racing. Let's go, go, go. Yeah, none of this crap. We're putting more miles on the pace car than we are the race cars here. This is looking pretty good. 8th caution so far. Only about 3 or 4 laps left to go in this race. Boy, I would say I don't want to dupe some guy here, but this is it's getting pretty dicey here. You know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. Pace car lights are still on, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab him. Brandon Murray, what a race you've been having here tonight, my man.
Yeah, been kind of up and down, been at the back, been up to the front. It's just kind of been all over the place.
Yeah, no kidding. Dude, you have been trying to take that entire track and not let these guys pass you. Daniel Holloway's all over your rear bumper. Expecting the same for the remainder of the race?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's going to be nose to tail pretty much to the end. Look for people, try to move people at the end of this thing. It's a really wild super speedway type race on a mile length track, so it's crazy.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, seeing that you only get about 3 to 4 seconds on the front and the back stretch there, man, it's not a whole lot of reaction time. But out of the 3 drivers that are behind you, Daniel Holloway, Chris Akers, and Adam Robertson, is there one name that you can say, that's the guy I'm nervous that's going to take this race away from me?
Yes, all 3 of them. They're all great, and I'm going to have to drive 3 or 4 perfect laps here at the end to stay in front of them. So any one of those 3 guys can win this thing.
Any rear view driving here?
That's about the only kind of driving we're doing.
I didn't know if it was all windshield time, baby. Just look out the windshield and just keep on going.
I would like to say yes and that it is, but reality is I'm just trying to make sure they stay behind me, and then, once we get to the corner, then it's out the windshield. But straightaway is all mirror driving.
Man, it's gonna be tough. All right, Brandon. Well, just in case, go ahead and give me your shout outs.
Yeah, Drive for Diabetes Awareness. They do great things for diabetic children. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. DriveForDiabetesAwareness.org, I believe, is the website. The league, and then you for the broadcast.
Yeah, not a problem, buddy. Appreciate you. Good luck.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, that is Brandon Murray getting his chance to shine here into the front. See if we got anything for us here. Pace car is going to go one more time around. I see Barney's hand up into the air. And this is, I'm hoping this is going to wrap this one up, Douglas. I think this is going to be a shot at the line. I would love to see a 3-wide finish. And us have to slow-mo to figure out who wins it.
Hey, but right now, you can never say never. As of right now, we have 4 laps to go. Miles may have another surprise for us, so never say never when it comes to this, but I can tell you right now, when you're sitting in the top 5 or even the top 6 drivers, there is going to be no give and take whatsoever when it comes to this. We are going to be seeing probably almost every single driver in the front here roughing each other somehow just to get to that top spot.
Yeah, 100%, but looks like we're going to be passing on the Darren and Sons pressure washing out there. It looks like that $50 is going to move actually to next week, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to see a couple of guys, unfortunately, going to have to try again next week. You know where we are? Dun, dun,
Martinsville,
dun.
the good old paperclip.
Oh, yeah, the Virginia paperclip. I love it. I can't wait to see how that one works out. If they can get these cautions under control, man, that should be a wild race. I know some guys are going to want to stay low, hook low, but that does not seem to work. You've got to go high and then drop down to the bottom. Speaking of high and to the bottom, Daniel Holloway's going to be thinking the same thing. He's got to watch this restart, and away we go. Holloway going to drop down to the bottom as Brandon Murray takes off here. Let's see what we can get. There's only 3 laps left to go. Keeping an eye out. Looks like Rob Yost sliding underneath Napier, dropping Napier back down to 6th. Right now, Napier has moved up a respectable 13 positions. So where does Holloway go? Can the Candyman get it done here? He's only got about 2.5 miles, 2 miles now to figure it out. As he's on the outside, notice how he's not taking the inside line. Outside for Daniel Holloway, trying to triangulate this one. Let's see if he drops to the bottom, and he does. Man, no run so far. Number 1 of Chris Akers ditches Daniel Holloway and Brandon Murray to go for his own. Wow, look at this close. Watch Adam Robertson. Oh my gosh, how does Chris Akers not rearrange Adam Robertson's nose here? Wreck in the back, white flag, it was out, but caution shows.
Trying to get to the case of the caution right now. Looks like it will be for the 60 of Eric Blount.
Holy cow, Eric Blount is around. Dang. Well, white flag was in Barney's hand flying, but they had not crossed the line yet before the caution came out. So that is why we're going to redo this one.
You know what that means, folks? This race is going to end in a green-white checkered.
Right there is when they threw the caution. Can you believe that? Man.
Of all the luck.
Holy cow. Wait a second. Who just barely missed him? Is that David Cox? Oh, yeah. All right, yeah. We're riding along with him. I got to see that again. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was David Cox.
Let's see what David Cox sees here. Car backwards. It sounded like he didn't even let off the gas. Just to the floor, baby. Just holy cow. Well, I guess he saw the white flag was out, and once you get to that point, it doesn't matter. He'd have to hammer down to get on through. Holy cow. Wow. All right. A couple of drivers have taken it to the garage. Total of David Duke, Rich Suddeth has taken it. David Fuge and Philip Temples have all taken it to the garage. Robert Lynch actually able to return back to the track, sitting 15th. Rich Blake and Larry Fairman are down pit now, upwards of 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes now. Brian Neff, only driver still a lap down, sitting 12th. I would wonder in a situation like this, does he get the wave around? Boy, could you see that Brian Neff getting back on the lead lap and then slicing through for a top 5?
Yeah. Definitely the rebound that he was looking for.
Yeah. That'd be pretty wild. You know, that might be an idea. Let's see if he's got any mechanics left. All right, Brian Neff, you got a copy? Flying Brian, talk to me.
Uh-oh.
Hey, you hear me?
There you go.
There
Hey,
he
buddy,
is.
how's the race?
Man, I'll tell you. Feel like I'm a bumper ball out here or whatever.
All right, well, you thought about changing the paint so somebody can see you?
Yeah. I'm just wondering why I'm not getting the lucky dog 2 restarts in a row.
Yeah, I was noticing that. You are a lap down. I thought you would get a fly on back. We did kind of propose an insane idea as you start in 12th. Should be getting the wave around here and then back on the lead lap, and you coming out top 5 tonight would definitely be a wild turn of events, would it not?
I use my quick repairs inside the first 10 laps, and I've repaired my car 3 times tonight.
Wow.
I've been run over. I don't know if people don't know how to use their brakes or they don't know how to look ahead or what's going on, but I've been run over 3 times.
Well, maybe they like your paint scheme better than theirs and they want to trade.
I don't know, but you know, when you count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, and then you get smoked, either he's texting, somebody's texting, or, you know, I don't know. I have no idea. We're going to have to pull this thing from both ends to get it back on the hauler. This is over. Holy.
All right, Brian, give me a shout out, sir, man.
Hey, thanks. You're doing a great job. I appreciate you watching the broadcast every week.
All right, appreciate it, man. Who were you with? Were you with Rich Blake and Austin Evans?
Yeah, Rich, Phil, Austin. I'm with everybody.
All right, buddy. I'll set you back there. Good luck.
All right, man.
Oh, man. Brian Neff kills me.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
That guy's funny. All right. Let's see who the pace car lights are on. Chris Akers might have a chance to see if he can get in second place, if he can nail this restart. Brandon Murray here into the front. Now Daniel Holloway sits second. Once again, Chris Akers. Does he get Adam Robertson? Or Robertson sliding underneath? No, he doesn't. So first green-white checker is underway. Brandon Murray getting away. Daniel Holloway is probably thinking this one might be over for him, but he's got to have a couple of perfect turns here as Daniel Holloway taking the slice here on the inside. No can do. White flag is coming out this time by Douglas. What are we going to see?
We might even definitely see a bump and run. White flag is out and going into turn 1. Daniel Holloway. He is right now trying to get to the bumper of Brandon Murray. But Murray has the inside line already straightened out. Holloway trying to go to the outside and tries to duck back down, but it looks like he is not going to have enough time. Checkered flag is in the air. The winner of the Dover race looks like it will go to Brandon Murray. Daniel Holloway will finish second. Chris Akers will finish third. Adam Robertson is fourth, and Andrew Smith will round out your top 5.
Quarter of a second between first, second, and third. That is all it takes for those two, all 3 guys to finish this race. So very, very, very close. I know Chris Akers was taking a peek, trying to see if he could find a little something left there. But I think Daniel Holloway, I guarantee you, during the interview, the first thing he's going to say is, if this thing had stayed green, I'd have had him. A quick race picture here by Brandon Murray, Daniel Holloway, and Chris Akers. We'll talk to them here in just a little bit. It looks like Zane Touchton out there is saying Douglas Ross is his favorite broadcaster. Hey.
Well, I'm glad I have a fan out there.
Yeah. Ooh, hey, don't forget, you're going to be joining me with the big show. In the booth. All right. Let's take a look at some of our race results here and kind of see where your favorite driver ended up. I know some of these guys got mixed up, butchered up. Oof. Taking a look. I think Billy Stanley ended up getting tangled up, and James Napier got hammered there right at the end. Somebody got turned around there. Saw there was something happening in the background. Oh, they're gonna say he's got a traction issue out there because I don't see any burnouts. He's gonna get in trouble. All right, everybody, hold on just a moment. Let's try to reel our drivers down here and see what we got going on. All right, everybody, we've caught up with our third place finisher. We talked to him once, we'll talk to him again. Chris Akers, talk to me about this race here right at the end, man. Do you have anything for him?
Oh man, that was a nail biter there. I was hoping that Holloway would get into the 76 a little bit, get him loose, and I could steal the win there for both of them. But Holloway just couldn't do nothing with him, so I guess I could deploy the third.
How nervous were you of Adam Robertson taking you over here?
Oh man, he should have that one chance he got. He was thankfully he let me have that spot back there. I slid up the track just a little bit. He tucked up underneath me and let out, and I can't thank him enough for that. But shoot, he was tough. This whole front pack was tough.
Yeah, Robertson's pretty good about that, man. If he knows he doesn't have it, he definitely lets out. And, really, instead of pushing the envelope and causing problems, he'd rather attack you on a different lap. But the laps march away very quickly, seeing that you guys were doing them about 25 seconds a lap when you were under green. Talk to me about next week's race. We head to the Virginia Paperclip, Martinsville. What are you thinking?
Oh, man, that should be fun. I always love some really good short track racing. I love racing Martinsville every chance we get. So that should be awesome. Hopefully it'll be better than our first race, and I can go in there and get another top 5. Been doing pretty good lately, so see if we keep it going.
I will admit, if memory serves me right, your first race was dismal. So,
oh yeah, yep.
So top 3 race, man. This has got to be relieving. Give me a shout outs.
Yes. Oh, shoot. I want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. I want to thank my teammate, Holloway. Good second place to him. Shout out to Mom, Dad, and my girlfriend. She's out here watching. It's been an awesome night. Maybe I can go for second or first next week.
Oh, yeah. Good luck to you, man, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, man.
All right, Chris Akers, everybody. Now, the number 1 Reese's Machine. All right, that's going to move us to Daniel Holloway. Douglas Ross, I think you've caught up to our second place finisher here. I know Asher's the nerd is asking if Holloway won. He came second, unfortunately. Go ahead and see what he's got to say.
And indeed, I have caught up with our second place finisher, the Candyman, Daniel Holloway. Daniel, let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, man, quite a race that you had. Second place tonight, not really probably in particular where you wanted to be, but tell us, how did you do on your race tonight? What did you think?
Oh, the car felt so good, even though I got shuffled back to 4th, and then it's like the car just turned to like another 100 horsepower and just kind of waiting for them to make a little mistake. But it was very tough to pass Brandon there. He's trying to make the right moves. I just needed him to bobble just a little to make that move to where I really got him. But that was very close. I didn't think I was going to be that close coming on the outside off of turn 4 like that. with that momentum I had, that would have been really good on my part. But tremendous race tonight. I know we got a little bit more cautions that we hope not to have, but with this type of package and everybody's pretty close, you can't make a mistake or you're going straight to the back like that.
Yes, most definitely. And we definitely seen you do tight racing with Brandon Murray for most of the race. Do you think maybe if you had a couple of more laps, do you think you would have had something for him?
I think so. I'd have been a little bit more aggressive. There was a couple times I was on his bumper, pushing him, trying to get him loose, but also I just didn't want to spin him out. And next thing you know, him and I restart back in the field, and I was also big picture for me was another good points night.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now it also brings me to this. Next week, we head to the Virginia Paperclip, Martinsville Speedway. What are you thinking going into that race for next week?
Ooh, I love that track. It's a momentum track there. I do pretty good. It's all about being consistent on that track. So I know there's going to be quite a few guys going to be tough. I know my partner, Akers, he's going to be tough there too. But we'll put some practice in this Hershey Kisses Ford Mustang and see how we do next week. So, but if I pull up a top five, I'll do a top five. So far, I think I've hit all fives in each of these races. So, points nights is good towards the end there.
Yes, most definitely. And I know that we actually interviewed you with your shout-outs, but give us your shout-outs once again.
Oh, yeah. Shout outs to you guys up in the booth again, Peter and Doug. You guys do one heck of a job in the sim tracks. My teammate, Chris Akers in the Reese's Cup car, Candy Shack Motorsports there. 5-Star Beverage for sponsoring, Performance Distribution, Speed Week. I'm going to taste that beef jerky here pretty soon on that unlimited beef jerky. I did it once. I missed that taste again, so I got to get that a little bit. God, everybody out there that was watching, my friend's family, I know Sarah was rooting. I think she just messaged me and was like, you should have spun him, but I'm not that type of driver. But other than that, everybody out there, hopefully they watch those race tonight and put a good show for you, especially towards the end there with, 10 to go besides that one caution, because I tell you what, in my shoes here, I was white knuckling, trying to pass these guys and trying to make the right move. So it wasn't easy, that's for sure.
It wasn't easy, but that race tonight got you a second place finish. So congratulations to you tonight, Daniel Holloway, your second place finisher.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
You too.
Thank you. And I do believe Patrick is catching up with our race winner now.
All right, race winner Brandon Murray. I talked to you before, man. I'll talk to you again. Boy, it was mirror driving here all the way to the end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I looked out the windshield those last 2 or 3 laps there. Just trying to keep those guys behind me as best I could and make sure that we brought it home.
Well, I did notice it looked like you got a little bit out of shape there, heading into turn 3 and 4 with Daniel Holloway setting you up there on the outside. Were you nervous?
Oh man, my palms were sweating. I was shaking. I was real nervous. It was a blast. He tried to bump and run me there, and just I was able to keep it down on the bottom. And then I think that was in 1 and 2. And coming off of 3, I clipped the apron a little bit, and I thought I was going to wreck it, but kept it straight and was able to keep it in front of him and bring home the win.
Yep. Well, I was gonna say, man, this was awesome here. I think you would probably agree. If we kept this thing green flag, this would have been an even wilder race than what we saw here at the end.
Oh yeah, I mean, for as crazy as it was, as it may have looked on the broadcast, I promise it was probably about 10 times crazier than in the car, because you were just, flat out the whole way around this place, and you were trying to draft up to people and catch them and pass them, and passing people was super difficult, but because you had to try to get a run off the corner on them, and then try to get to their inside before you got to the next corner. So it was definitely difficult.
Yeah, that was, man. It just seemed right place, right time here all night. But Martinsville, I can't say right place, right time there. As some say it's a momentum track, some say it's a single lane, a single lane. But if how do you avoid cautions heading into Martinsville?
That's a really good question. People just have to be patient. They got to realize that they have to brake. They can't brake at the same time the person in front of them does. You know, you got to brake a little bit before they do to keep from running them over. So patience is going to be key there. And I've learned with that track, it's one of my favorites. If you treat it nice, it'll treat you nice. So don't overdrive it. Be smart. Race with your head. Going to be vastly different than what we saw here tonight at Dover.
Oh, yeah. Quick on the gas. Make sure you've got a good hold of the wheel and stab it.
Pretty much, yeah.
I knew that. You're easy on the gas on the way out and then to the floor, man. You can't be afraid of it because he'll try to kick out from under you. Brandon Murray, we'll see if you can do it again next week. Give me a shout-out once again.
Drive for Diabetes Awareness. Check them out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, drivefordiabetesawareness.org. Doing great things in the racing community for diabetic children, trying to bring awareness to childhood diabetes, and I think it's a great cause. The league for putting on this fantastic racing, you guys for the fantastic broadcast, 5-Star Beverages for unlimited beef jerky for sponsoring the league, and just everybody in this league, man. Everybody tries to race clean, and I really like racing here.
Yep. Well, hopefully the racing does get better. I think the more you guys start figuring out how each other race, man, I think those the yellow fever will go away, and we'll actually see some. Man, you guys almost trying not to kill each other out there. All right, Brandon Murray, appreciate you. And the 76, man, good luck to you next week.
Thanks, man. I appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
You too. All right, Douglas, that's going to do it for us tonight. Brandon Murray, Daniel Holloway, and Chris Akers, 1, 2, and 3. Adam Robertson taking a peek just on the outside, sitting 4th, and Andrew Smith 5th. Do want to give a shout-out to David Cox, who did move up as our hard charger tonight, up 11 positions, sitting 6th. Eric Blount dropped down to 7th. Up 10 positions was Austin Evans sitting 8th. Rob Yost was 9th, and James Napier, even after all that, ended up in that 10th position. So what a wild race that we saw here tonight. But that may do it as we head into Martinsville next week, guys. That is going to be a great race. I can't wait to see all you guys there. It's going to be a fantastic one. Last words from you, Douglas.
Definitely just looking forward to next week's race. It should be definitely a race that may even play out in points, and just looking forward to next week.
Oh, yeah. And that being it, we're going to go ahead and sign off for tonight. Be well, be safe, be kind. I'll see all you guys next time.
Getting there fast. Well, I've been down on my luck, but that's okay. Gave me nothing up ahead but shiny days. I know that life has got its ups and downs. I'm tired of feeling like a one-eyed clown. That's why I'm going nowhere and getting there fast. Hoping and I'm praying I don't run out of gas. I was built for speed, I was made to last. Cause I'm going nowhere and getting there. When my engine is hot and my fan is blowing, I don't kiss enough ass to get nothing going. I'm running wide open, I can tell you, son. Along the way, I had plenty of fun. That's why I'm going nowhere and getting there fast. Hoping and I'm praying I don't run out of gas. I was built for speed, I was made to last. Cause I'm going nowhere and getting there. I'm going nowhere and getting there fast. Hoping and I'm praying I don't run out of gas. I was built for speed, I was made to last. Cause I'm going nowhere and getting there. Well, I'm going nowhere and getting there fast. Hoping and I'm praying I don't run out of gas. I was built for speed, I was made to last. I'm going nowhere and getting there